between the host and the listeners about their relationships. This show is not an attempt to assess, diagnose, or treat any mental health or illness condition. Please consult your physician, psychiatrist, or psychotherapist for personal matters.
Inner Voice, a heartfelt chat with Dr. Foojan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Inner Voice Show. I'm Dr. Foojan Zeine, and this show, I have Sean in studio with us. This show is about what matters most to you, to me, to all of us. How our mind works, feelings, actions, how we can be responsible for who we are in our world and how we kind of act and impact everybody else's world, and who we are in this beautiful journey of life. Now, in this show, I will bring you the latest research about the one thing that you all have in your hand, yes, your phone, and the effect of all of that in your life from the University of Canada, or British Columbia, Canada, and University of Virginia together. And then afterward, I am so excited and honored. I have a great friend, an amazing actor and a producer, Mrs. Shohreh Aghdashloo, who I'm just going to tell you about her. And most of all of you, I hope, that know her. And if you don't, you're going to get to know her in a whole different way today. And you actually get to call and even talk to her if you like. So call us at the studio at 951-922-3532. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Dr. Foojan Zeine is a psychotherapist, a marriage and family therapist, and a life coach with more than 27 years of experience. She is the author of the Awareness Integration Model, which has been researched and published in numerous international journals. Dr. Foojan has offices in Beverly Hills, Irvine, and Woodland Hills, California, and also consults online and by telephone. Make an appointment with her today by calling 818-648-2140 or go online to www.foojan.com. That's www.foojan.com.
Join the conversation every Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific for Inner Voice Heartfelt Chat with Dr. Foojan. Dr. Foojan has a direct approach to getting you to free your mind. Inner Voice is a live call-in show where you can chat about your life and all that matters to you in your relationships. Inner Voice Heartfelt Chat with Dr. Foojan, Monday afternoons at 3 p.m. Pacific on Smart Talk, KMET 1490 AM, and on the Internet stream.
And now, back to our program.
Did you know that our digital lives may be making us more distracted, distant, and drained, according to research presented at the annual convention of the American Psychological Association? For instance, even minor phone use during a meal with friends was enough to make the diners feel distracted and reduce their enjoyment of the experience. I think the distraction we already knew, right? We just never knew that we actually don't enjoy each other a lot because we pretend we do. So Dr. Ryan Dwyer, from the University of British Columbia, says that people who were allowed to use their phones during dinner had more trouble staying present in the moment. Decades of research on happiness tells us that engaging positively with others is critical for our well-being. Now, modern technology may be wonderful, but it can easily sidetrack us and take away from the special moments we have with friends and family in person. Now, Dwyer and his colleagues conducted 2 studies, a field experiment in a restaurant and another survey. So the restaurant experiment included more than 300 adults and university students in Vancouver, British Columbia. Participants were either asked to keep their phones on the table with the ringer or vibration on, or to put their phone on silent and place them in a container on the table during the meal. So after the participants filled out a questionnaire detailing their feelings of social connectedness, enjoyment, distraction, and boredom, as well as the amount of phone use and what they did on their phones during the meal. So the researchers found that people who had their phones easily accessible during the experiment not only used them more than those with their phones put away, but they also reported feeling more distracted and enjoyed the experience less. So the survey portion included more than 120 participants from the University of Virginia. Participants were surveyed 5 times a day for 1 week and were asked to report on how they were feeling and what they had been doing in the 15 minutes before completing the survey. Results showed that people reported feeling more distracted during face-to-face interactions if they had used their smartphones compared with face-to-face interactions where they had not used their smartphone. The students also said they felt less enjoyment and interest in their interaction if they had been on their phone. The survey findings were especially notable because of the negative effects of the phone use among university students who are commonly known as digital natives. They assume that this generation would be more adept to multitasking between using their phones and interacting with others, but the study found out that even moderate levels of phone use undermine the benefits of engaging with others. Wow. So another study presented in the session found that compassionate people, listen to this, everyone. This is really interesting. Compassionate people spend less time on social media than people who are more self-centered and narcissistic. Oh no. In addition, people with lower emotional intelligence or those who have difficulty identifying, describing, and processing their emotions use social media more often than those who are more in touch with their feelings, according to a study Dr. Sarah Conrath of University of Indiana. She says people who are uncomfortable with their own and others' emotions may be more comfortable online. We think, this is what the doctor said, from the study, we think that they may prefer text-based interactions that allow them more time to process social and emotional information. Now, this study built upon a previous research that has shown that more narcissistic people use social media more often than less narcissistic people. Oh, wow. Virtually no research has been done on how emotional intelligence relates to social media use. She and her colleagues analyzed data from 4 studies of more than 1,200 adult participants and used existing scales that assess narcissism, empathy, emotional intelligence, and emotional recognition. The studies also asked questions about how frequently participants checked and posted Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. More empathic people used Twitter. That's interesting. More empathic people used Twitter less frequently than those who were not as caring and compassionate toward others. Also, people who were more likely to be able to see the world from another's perspective did not spend as much time on Facebook and Instagram. Another interesting finding, I know all of you are now going to go and say, I don't use it that much. And every time now you want to go on your social media, you're going to check to see if you're more empathic or not, right? So another interesting finding was that people who scored high on a test of reading others' emotions used Twitter and Facebook less often. Conversely, more narcissistic people and those who feel overwhelmed by emotional experiences of others spend more time on all 3 social media sites. Does being more emotionally intelligent and empathic cause people to avoid social media, or are lower empathy people more drawn to it? Good question. It could also be the opposite. Perhaps frequently using social media can impair empathy and emotional intelligence. I don't know about that. We can't determine causality with this study. Thank God they say they can't really determine it. So a lot of it is, kind of guesswork. We need more research to better understand. Yes, you do. Other research presented found this one was good to know. Preteens became better at reading nonverbal cues from their peers after 5 days of no screen time. And college-age participants bonded better with their friends during in-person interactions versus video chats, audio chat, or instant messaging. So guess what, everyone? It seems like you've really got to try to put this thing down once in a while to raise your empathy and kind of raise your humanness again, I guess, right? So let's figure out a couple of times per day where we can say goodbye to our phones and computers and put it aside and actually look at somebody in the face and in their eyes and enjoy them fully. We'll be right back with Shohreh Aghdashloo. She's an actor and a producer, and I want you to get to know her, every aspect of her. So we'll be right back.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Then you need the law offices of Aria Thadakar for your free case evaluation. Don't let the medical bills pile up, and don't let the insurance companies try to settle your claim for a few $100s. Call 714-464-3246. The law offices of Aria Thadakar serves all of California. If they don't win, you don't pay. So call now, 714-464-3246. This is a paid-for attorney advertisement by the law offices of Aria Thadakar of Orange, California.
Have you ever wished you could just wake up one day, reach across your nightstand, and hit the life reset button? Let's face it, the struggles and frustrations of everyday life leave millions of women and men around the globe yearning for a new way. And the new way is right here in Life Reset, the awareness integration path to create the life you want, by Dr. Foojan Zeine. You can get it now at Foojan.com or Amazon.com. Life Reset, the awareness integration path to create the life you want. You deserve it.
Welcome back to Inner Voice Show. I'm Dr. Foojan Zeine. I am so excited and honored, and I feel proud to have Shohreh Aghdashloo with me. She's an actor and a producer. She's an Academy Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, nominee for House of Sound and Fog in 2004, playing with Ben Kingsley and Jennifer Connelly. She's a Primetime Emmy Award winner for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a miniseries or movie, House of Saddam, in 2008. She's a winner of the Gold Derby Award for the Drama Supporting Actress of television series 24 in 2005, and winner of Hollywood Film Awards for The Stoning of Soraya in 2008. Shohreh has done an amazing and a vast range of body of work, including playing in the movies, such as Star Trek, Beyond, The Promise, Last Nights, The Odd Life of Timothy Green, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants #2, X-Men, The Last Stand, and Guests of Hotel Astoria. And recently, she finished Simple Wedding, which we're going to actually talk to her about it. This is the first movie she's producing. Now, she's also been in TV series such as Matlock, 24, Will and Grace, ER, Grey's Anatomy, Smith, Simpsons, Law and Order, NCIS, Believe, Scorpion, The Punisher, and presently on The Expanse. She is the first Iranian female actress to cross over into mainstream Hollywood cinema. Welcome to my show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Foojan. Thank you. I love your show.
Oh, thank you. I've known you since 1980s, I think 86, 85.
85.
And
6, right.
Yeah, and I think you had just came, I don't know if you came straight from Iran to here or Europe, but you were already a beautiful actress and a very well-known award-winning actress from Iran, and then you had decided to move to the United States. And I've just been honored to be Iranian and have you represent who you are as a woman, as an Iranian in the cinema, and just watch you grow and excel in the best capacity. So I just want to tell you how much I'm proud of you.
The feeling is mutual.
Thank you. Now you've gone from acting now to producing.
First time ever.
Yeah, how was it for you?
It was scary, to be honest with you, at the very beginning, because I love the script. And to be honest with you, I owe this one to Rita Wilson, Rita Hanks. What an amazing friend and lovely actress. She had asked me to come up with some Iranian-related stories in the past. I can say at least for 10 years, but I couldn't find any. And finally, well, it was last year, I'd gotten back from Canada. I was ever so tired. My agent sent the script over and said, read it, Shohreh, and let me know how you feel about it. And I was so tired. I said, Peter, I'm very tired. I think I'm going to have to let go of this one. Unfortunately, I have to pass on this one, and I just want to, rest. Immediately, I had an email from Rita saying, didn't we say we want to do something together? And I jumped, and I started reading the story written by an amazing young Iranian woman, Sarah Zandiye, as beautiful as you are, and fresh off Columbia College. Her short film won an award in Abu Dhabi and was acknowledged at Tribeca Film Festival and Telluride Film Festival. So I read it and I fell in love with the story. I told Sarah when we had our first meeting, I said, Sarah, to be honest with you, I was waiting for Mr. Kiarostami to come and make this film here. And she said, strange enough you're saying this, because 3 years ago when she won an award in Abu Dhabi, Kiarostami took an interest in her and became her mentor. Wow. And I still get a chill when I think about it. I think Kiarostami finally sent her to make this movie. And there were a couple of things here and there that needed to be taken care of. It was that they were a bit either too rough or maybe not the time to share it yet. So my husband and I, Hussein Tuzi, is also a very good actor, playwright, stage director, very good. So all three of us, we sat down and we just went all over the story, and in 3 days we were ready to shoot, and we did. It was hard because it was for the first time that I had to think not just about my acting. As the mother of the bride, Rita plays the mother of the groom, and I played the mother of the bride. And Hussein, my husband, played the father of the bride. But rather than only concentrating on my work, which I always do, I had to also think about its financial aspects. What's going to happen to this? What's going to happen? I do remember that at one point somebody told me that the cake we were ordering for the wedding is going to cost us $550. And I said, it doesn't matter. It's worth it because it's Persian wedding. It has to be posh, and But a day later, our makeup artist tells me, I need a mascara for $120. I said, what? $100 for a mascara? What kind of a mascara is that? And she said, apparently it takes care of your lashes. And I said, well, who wants it? And she told me, and I said, get it for her. We want her to be happy. Whatever she needs, we're at her disposal. But make the cake a little bit smaller. Make sure the cake is $450. We can't afford $550 now.
We made everybody happy.
Yeah, but they were so sweet when we told them, and they said, okay, don't worry, be our guests. Take the big cake. So
you have Tara Grammy, which she actually was on my show one time, Rita Wilson, yes. Christopher O'Shea, Maz Jobrani, I love him. I think he's the greatest. He's been on my show a couple of times. Hu Sheng Tozi, which is an amazing, it's just brilliant. And James Eckhouse. So that's the crew. And the storyline. Nusha Hassani, who is Tara Garami, right?
That's right, yes.
Getting played by her, wants to marry the perfect Persian husband for her perfect Persian family. But of course, but her plans are derailed when she falls in love with Alex Talbot, an eccentric bisexual artist, when her traditional Muslim parents discovered the two living together as domestic partners. Like, you've covered all taboos, haven't you? They insist they officially get married. So Nusha reluctantly agrees that the Talbots and the Hassanis come together, the parents, for a big Persian wedding. And over the course of one weekend, buried family wounds come reckoning to the surface and disaster ensues. I can only imagine. And the couple's relationship is tested. The Simple Wedding has been chosen as one of the 10 best films of the year and will be premiering at the Los Angeles Film Festival. That is awesome.
It's very, very exciting, to be honest with you. I'm so happy, not just for A Simple Wedding, of course, but also I'm happy because I know that from now on, if I want to produce a movie, people can trust me. Financiers can trust me. And I would tell them, look, as a matter of fact, I produced another one. It is called The Cuban. And I love this film. I just finished shooting it in Canada.
Wonderful.
In a small town called Kamloops. And it was amazing. Right now, as we're speaking, we're editing it. It's about the effect of music on dementia and Alzheimer.
Wow.
So, I can't wait to share that with you too. So being A Simple Wedding, being nominated for, the film festival has brought a lot of hope into my heart that The Cuban will also be successful and I can make more films.
It seems like with Simple Wedding, you have brought every single thing that can be a taboo and put it all together and see kind of like watch and how people really handle all these beautiful differences and yet come together in a sense.
That's why I had to produce it. And I told my agent, he said, what? You don't have time to produce it. Why don't you just act on it? And I said, I need to have a key position in this one that would allow me to make decisions and bring the best into this film. At least, for my part, bring the A-listers from, Iranian actors and actresses, musicians, whatever that I can do. I want to do it the best way possible. We didn't have a lot of money, but we had a lot of taste. And now they're telling me, when they see it, they say, some of the shots really look like $1 million shot. And I said, what, are you kidding me? I was behind the cameraman, Ziv, his name is, Israeli cinematographer, amazing, and kept telling him, Ziv, make sure it's $1 million shot. Ziv, make sure it's $1 million shot. So you do your best when you don't have that much money to make a movie. But at least, now I can make profound, meaningful films that I like to.
Yes. Shohreh, what is the message of what Sarah Zandier, who's the writer and the director of this film, and that you and Rita Wilson loved it so much that you just want it definitely for your audience to see this? What is the message of the movie?
The message is, regardless of our tribes, backgrounds, nationality, the color of our skin, and our accents, it's one-on-one. We love one another. We can make the whole world a paradise if we only listen to one another, understand each other, and try to be there for each other. Whether being an Iranian or an American, if there are cultural clashes, we will try to solve it out and we will try to understand one another. And I love the fact that our son-in-law is bisexual. I love the fact that this particular decision has made our film LGBT friendly. It's time to understand each other. It's time to live peacefully next to one another. And this is what the film is trying to say.
You say this, and I remember about a year ago, and I think I had shared this with Sean at one point. About a year ago, I actually went to a wedding in Los Angeles, and it was the conversation you're having right now. It was in the wedding. We had Jewish from Israel and Iran and United States. Then we had Muslims from the Saudi Arabia, from some other countries in the region, all countries, almost like 2 or 3 representatives from, then we had from Egypt. We had Palestinians who were there. And then we had Armenians, and then we had Turks. We had every single Afghans, Pakistanis, then from China, from Japan. This was such an international crowd because a lot of these people worked together. So they were, coming together from work, and they were different families that came together, and they lived in different countries. So everybody was together. And at one point I looked across and I thought, if you heard the news, you would think that the world is collapsing, and you come here and look, everyone is together, enjoying, being gracious to each other, being generous to each other, enjoying life together. And it was just beautiful. It's just seeing all of that. And I have to say, and I said, only in America, you can have everyone together like this and really enjoying all of that.
For these reasons, I'm trying to make movies that would bring about the truth about these tribes who are living here, who are now Americans. And this was a great chance for me, really. I hope you like the movie.
Oh, I'm definitely going to. So, Shohreh, you're coming from a different country, being an immigrant, being a woman, and coming to this country right at the edge that the word Iran made, some people's hair stand up, and had issues. Like we were part of the axis of evil at one point, and everything that you could ever imagine, and it's still going on on the news. Against all odds, with all that was there, you created such an amazing presence in Hollywood and in your work, and the beauty of your work. Obviously, your talent, but beside your talent, there was something else that you allowed yourself to just go forward and not listen to every message that could hold you back and say, you can't make it because you're an Iranian, because you're a woman, you're this, you're that, you have an accent, you have this, you have that. And, they're going to cast you only in one role, and you can't get out of it. And, as I read your beautiful, the expansive amount of work you've had, it was amazing. I remember, I didn't even know you were in Star Trek. And I was, I went to the movies, and I'm sitting there, and then suddenly, I didn't first see you because you were a little bit further, suddenly heard your voice. And I sat up and I said, that's Shohreh. And then, slowly but surely the camera brought you in, and I'm like, damn, wow, that's Shohreh in Star Trek. And I was jumping up and down, and it's like, you don't get casted. You don't just get stuck. You move women.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. When there is no job, when there is no work, I create one. This is my motto. But it's interesting. When I first moved here, 1984, I was shopping around for an agent. I met with one, and he said, when he looked at my background and the movies that I had done in Iran and in the UK and the stage work, he said, by all means, I will send you to auditions, Shohreh, but you are limited. I said, David, maybe into your eyes I'm limited, but in my world, I'm unlimited. I left the office knowing David cannot do anything for me. The truth of the matter is that you don't wait for others to do something for you or to bring it to you. You keep working, you keep polishing yourself, you keep learning, you keep watching, you keep listening, you keep reading newspapers. You keep yourself contemporary. You don't get snailed. You don't sit back. You don't relax, waiting for people to come and pick you up and take you. You're there. One thing I heard from the very beginning, every time I watched a Hollywood star giving an interview, and the interviewer asked him or her as to how it happened and how she became famous and successful overnight, she or he says, I was there with my suitcase and the train arrived. Now I know what they mean. That I do my job, I take care of myself, I polish myself, I learn all the time, and would never refrain from learning in every area, doesn't matter what, but keeping myself fresh, ready to learn more. And then when it happens, you're there with your suitcase and the train arrives. One more thing, this amazing industry, the American film industry taught me was, if you know your profession, you have the know-how, you have the knowledge, and you're willing to work hard, then no matter what, you will be successful. Just follow up the rules. Again, you cannot just sit back and keep praying. You've heard the joke that the guy was talking to God and asking him as to why he's not winning a lottery ticket. And all of a sudden he heard God in his head saying, buy one, let me help you. If you don't buy one, if you don't buy a lottery ticket, how can you win one? Yeah. So, yeah.
As you listen to the space that is out there, the rules, and you get to know what success is, and you work hard toward it, what are the times that you may have felt like you failed, or you were very vulnerable, and what got you to rise up again, to stand up again? And what did you say to yourself to shift out of that space and move ahead again?
To be honest with you, Foojan, I never think about having failed anything. If whatever I'm working on does not go through, I think it wasn't the time. Maybe I should wait. Everything needs time for it to cook. Even if I want to have a right tea, I have to wait for it to brew. So it wasn't the right time. Whenever I went for an audition for a role and I didn't get it, I didn't think I failed it. I thought I wasn't right for the piece. I wasn't right for the character. Perhaps someone else was. And if I were right for the character and the casting director went for a wrong person, then they're lost.
Mm-hmm. So part of what I'm hearing is you didn't take anything personal. No. You didn't let it attach to you. You didn't let it stick to you. This wasn't necessarily about you. What you got is, I'm going to learn to be my best. And if my best matches something out there and they all come together, then that's what it's supposed to be. And if my best didn't show up, or what they needed was not my best, then that's just all it was. I don't give it any meaning. That's it. It just wasn't it. And I'm going to be my best until my right opportunity that values me and I can be the best representative shows up and I can be there, right?
Absolutely. And nothing is personal. Unless you're talking to yourself. Whoever is talking to you, and I mean, I'm preaching to the prayer. The thing is that we don't need to do this. People know that. All we need to do is to be bold and be straightforward and tell them what we feel like, or having a real, true relationship, and then
to be together.
Absolutely. I'm here. I saw there's a program called Iconoclasm, in which one icon gets to talk to the other icon. Steven Spielberg, one of my favorite directors of all times, was with John Williams, I believe his name is, and the musician who works with him. All his films, they've been working together for 30, 40 years now. First thing he said, they were asked, how come they keep working with one another? And Spielberg said, we come to work with one another, to help each other out. We don't come to work to impress each other, to shock each other, or, to impose certain things on each other.
Yes, we don't. It's like we're here to enjoy who we are among others and together. But this isn't about proving anything. It's just that we're enjoying life and we can't do it in an isolated level. So we're going to enjoy life with people who have the same interests than us. And that's how life becomes enjoyable and fulfilling.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're going to be right back. Everyone, we're talking to Shohreh Aghdashloo. She's an amazing actor, Emmy winner, and Oscar nominee, and producer of Simple Wedding, which is going to be in LA Film Festival. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and you can even call us and talk to Shohreh Aghdashloo. You're not going to get a lot of this. This is it. This is your chance. 951-922-3532. We'll be right back.
Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby, is where I'll be.
Join the conversation every Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific for Inner Voice, Heartfelt Chat with Dr. Foojan. Dr. Foojan has a direct approach to getting you to free your mind. Inner Voice is a live call-in show where you can chat about your life and all that matters to you in your relationships. Inner Voice, Heartfelt Chat with Dr. Foojan, Monday afternoons at 3 p.m. Pacific on Smart Talk, KMET 1490 AM, and on the Internet stream.
Dr. Foojan Zeine is a psychotherapist, a marriage and family therapist, and a life coach with more than 27 years of experience. She is the author of the Awareness Integration Model, which has been researched and published in numerous international journals. Dr. Foojan has offices in Beverly Hills, Irvine, and Woodland Hills, California, and also consults online and by telephone. Make an appointment with her today by calling 818-648-2140 or go online to www.foojan.com. That's www.foojan.com.
Have you ever wished you could just wake up one day, reach across your nightstand, and hit the life reset button? Let's face it, the struggles and frustrations of everyday life leave millions of women and men around the globe yearning for a new way. And the new way is right here in Life Reset, the awareness integration path to create the life you want by Dr. Foojan Zeine. You can get it now at Foojan.com or Amazon.com. Life Reset, the awareness integration path to create the life you want. You deserve it.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Then you need the law offices of Aria Thadakar for your free case evaluation. Don't let the medical bills pile up, and don't let the insurance companies try to settle your claim for a few $100s. Call 714-464-3246. The law offices of Aria Thadakar serves all of California. If they don't win, you don't pay. So call now, 714-464-3246. This is a paid-for attorney advertisement by the law offices of Aria Thadakar of Orange, California.
We're back. We're talking to Shohreh Aghdashloo, award-winning actress and a producer of Simple Wedding, who's going to be in the LA Film Festival probably end of September. So please look for it and definitely go see it. This is her first movie that she's producing. So very, very proud. Shohreh, I know that you've been married to. Their first marriage was an amazing artist, and right now with Houshang Tozi, who everyone in our culture at least knows him as an amazing stage writer, producer, director, and stage and play director and artist. He writes beautifully. The dialogues are amazing, and you have also joined him in many of the theater and play in the Farsi and for our community. And how is it for you to be married to a person who's also an actor, who is also so well organizing this type of a field? How is it being married in the same industry, let's say?
It has its advantages and disadvantages, of course. When I turned 30, after I finished university and got my BA in International Relations Political Science in the UK, I announced publicly to my friends and acquaintances and everybody that I want to get married. Bring me suitors, if you have any. The first one was a heart surgeon, British heart surgeon, very nice man in his early 40s. A friend of mine threw the party, invited us. We had dinner together with the family. And while we were having dinner, I looked at him. He had such innocent eyes, pair of blue eyes. And he was so kind and nice and calm. And while I was watching him, I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to do this to him. Poor man needs to wake up at 5 and go, does heart surgery. I'm not going to let go of acting. I want to remain an actor. I'm going to come home after midnight, having performed on the stage or working on a movie, and he's going to have to wake up at 5 a.m. We won't have time to see each other. We won't have time to even start loving each other. At that time, I was doing a play, and I was on the stage. So I could see it vividly of how it can go wrong between the two of us. So I told my friend, and she said, oh, don't think about him. Think about yourself. You're married. He's rich, this and that. And I said, no, it's not going to work out with me. So when I came to LA and saw Hussein, I knew of Hussein way before in Iran. We both worked for a drama workshop of Tehran, which was the hub of the intellectuals, writers, producers, and I knew of him. And as a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I didn't like him very much. He was too much to himself. Self-centered, we were talking about the narcissistic behavior. And because he was extremely good looking, and women didn't leave him alone. I wasn't connected to him. I was married to Shohreh Aghdashloo. My husband was handsome enough for me not to look at anybody else. But I didn't like his behavior because of the fact that women paid too much attention to him. He was a bit rough with women, especially with me when we started doing a play together, The Saved by Edward Mundt. And finally I told him, I said, why are you doing this to me? Why don't you look into my eyes? Because I'm a woman? And he goes, no, I understand. So with that background, when I saw him in LA and he invited me to see his play, All the Sons of Iran Khanum, Lady Iran, I thought, oh, okay, he's mature now. He's not that
full of himself.
Exactly. So I went to see the play and I fell in love with him. And I thought that it's the best match ever. He's a playwright. He's an actor. I'm an actor. I would like to write as well. And he's good looking. So our children are going to be good looking as well. Everything counts when you want to marry, and married him. And I'm so happy I did that. It's been an amazing marriage. We're friends more than anything else, each other's friends. No matter what, I'm not saying that upheavals went in our life. There were. A couple of them, we went up and down, but finally, because of the love between us, because of the friendship, I can say we're in love because...
I've really experienced that with the two of you. Obviously, I've seen you in different places. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we were at your house. I watched the dynamic, and I'm very curious. That's why I became a therapist. So just observing, the two of you very much the flow of the togetherness and the friendship and best friends. And I remember we had asked you to come and join us to do this piece of video for a documentary for one of the legends in Iran, and you weren't feeling well. And I remember calling Hussein because I couldn't find you, and his voice was so worried for you, such a love and care in his voice for you about, at that time, you were ill at that time. So I've experienced.
Problem is I don't have a good heart, unfortunately. I have rheumatic fevers, and heart microvalve prolapse. That's why every time I catch a cold, I have to go to bed, come to bed rest, take antibiotics, and every time I catch a cold, he's so afraid. He's like, I'm not going to lose you to this cold, am I? I'm like, don't make it dramatic. You're a writer, you're a great writer. For God's sake, don't make it dramatic.
He was dramatic on the phone with me, and I'm like, Foojan, we got the whole crew here, and I haven't heard from her. Is she okay? Don't you understand? She's sick. Stop calling her. You're getting her anxious. I'm like, okay. He was just, I got it. You love her. You don't want me to bother her. But it was just amazing of how the intensity of his care for you as it was showing up. And I've watched the two of you on the screen together in plays, and it's such a chemistry beyond your husband and wife, just this chemistry that's between the two of you as you act. So that's beautiful. And I know you got a gorgeous daughter together. How was it for you in raising her? Because I know that you were in the space of constantly being all over United States and Europe and, casting in different places and actually acting in the movies and TV series with, a daughter that you're growing and, a teenager at one point. How was it for you and how was it for her?
It was, I can't speak for her, but for me, it was a hard one. Because I was, although, with you're familiar with Iranian families, the culture, how it works with us. Fathers would like to be in their daughter's life, but it's the mother's job to take care of it rather than the father's. So I can say almost single-handedly, I tried to raise her the best way possible. My problem was that I was coming from Iran and I couldn't trust anybody getting close to my daughter, especially when she was 5 years old. We were at a party and she was wearing a two-piece, walking by the pool. And I heard one of the guests, a doctor, who said, oh, look at her. She looks like a little woman. And I was so afraid. My heart sank. I immediately went and got her and took her in. We were at our place. Took her in and I told her, Nanny, I said, Christina, put something better on her. I don't want to see her belly. And I told her, sweetheart, I saw him rubbing your belly. I don't want anybody to touch you. Next time anybody does that, you tell them, my mother hates this. I'm going to go tell my mother. So, and in my dismay, she went. I changed her dress, brought her back to the party. He did it again. And this time I wasn't watching. I just heard Tara saying, stop doing this. My mother does not like this. That night I never came back to our house and I never saw him again. So I was very afraid. Tara was with me at all times, on my shoulder. We took tours around Europe, Australia, Canada, US. She was with me. Thank God she learned so much. She was in second grade, and the whole class was asked, what is the smallest country on the face of the earth? And Tara said, Luxembourg. And she said, how do you know that? And she said, we traveled through it. I traveled with my parents through Europe. So at all times, there have been times, few hours or few days that I had to leave her alone. But God knows what happened. But I tried to be with her as much as possible. She was on my shoulder in all these tours around the world.
Is she interested in acting or the world of the movies?
As a matter of fact, she just finished, it's been 2 or 3 years, Chapman University. She's a director. She wants to be a director. And I said, good luck, sweetheart, because unfortunately, in the US, the amount of female directors are so little. It's only 7%, which is unbelievable. In Europe, it's 27%.
Well, it never stopped you, any of these conversations. So I'm sure she's your daughter. Even if you say that's not going to stop her.
No, it's not going to stop her. I told her, I said, this is for your generation to solve the rest of the problems of the world. My generation is going, to hiatus. So do whatever you can.
Well, your generation is not going to hiatus either. I know that every philanthropy place that I go, either you are there as a guest, as a contributor, as a host, as a someone who is performing on the stage for them and fundraising for them. I think that you're probably in 10 or 12 philanthropy fundraising events every year that at least I know of because I've been with you. So tell us.
I try to do my best. I was 5 years old, and when my grandmother told me that, I asked Grandma, I said, Grandma, how can we thank God for what we have? She said, sweetheart, you don't see God, but you see his people. Thank his people. Try to save his people. Be helpful to his people. So
that's a great, great sentence.
Absolutely. I've just been trying to be as helpful as possible. Now that Tara is already gone, and have started working. Now that I can enjoy a little bit of a nice life. I could be even more helpful. The more time I have, the more helpful I could be. What's a life without service?
Exactly. And I know that you are, we were talking to one of your great friends who has created a school in India. And can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know you're very, very involved with that program. And she was actually supposed to be with us today. Unfortunately, we couldn't have her, but at least to honor her and honor your work with her, can you talk a little bit about her program?
By all means. Her name is Shohreh Aghdashloo, a dear childhood friend. She started educating the underprivileged children in India, and from day one, she needed help from friends, families, and we decided to help her as much as possible. I have 11 kids with her. My eldest daughter just turned nurse. She's now working at Delhi's hospital. What we do is we sponsor kids, and we take care of their food and education, which is the most important thing on the face of the earth nowadays.
What is the name of her program?
Mother Miracle. www.mothermiracle.org or .com.
Yes, and if people who are listening or watching us, please go and support her and even sponsor a child. That would be amazing. Shohreh, thank you so much for being with us, giving your time to us. I know you're very, very busy. And you're the producer of Simple Wedding, and you also are a lead actress in there, and with your husband, and also Rita, right? Rita
Wilson, yes.
Yeah, Rita Wilson, Maz Jobrani, great crew. And I hope that everyone goes to LA Film Festival and sees it, because it's going to open the LA Film Festival about a month. And it's just been a pleasure talking to you, being around you, looking at your growth and success, and wishing you more and more success as it comes to you. And, thank you for being awesome representation of who we are as a nation.
Likewise, you make me feel proud of being Iranian American. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you already. You have to come.
Absolutely, yes. And for all of you who were with us today, thank you so much for listening with your heart, being with us. And don't forget, if you want to talk to me, I'm great with online therapy and counseling from anywhere in the world. So call me, and I'll see you next week right here. Take good care and create an amazing world for yourself and everyone else about you. Bye-bye.
The Inner Voice Show is a dialogue between the host and the listeners about their relationships. This show is not an attempt to assess, diagnose, or treat any mental health or illness condition. Please consult your physician, psychiatrist, or psychotherapist for personal matters.
Serving the Inland Empire and desert communities, this is 1490 AM KMET, Banning, Beaumont, Redlands, and Palm Springs.
in the form of 2 mortgage loans. Brannon testified that Manafort suggested the term